Right? What if everything you believed about death was completely wrong? What if the greatest mind in history left us a secret so dangerous it was buried for nearly a century? You're about to hear something that powerful forces never wanted you to know. In 1930, a mysterious interview took place that would shake the very foundations of human understanding. The man being questioned, Nikola Tesla. The topic, his shocking discoveries about what happens when we die. This isn't some mystical nonsense. This is hard science from the man who gave us electricity, radio waves, and wireless technology. And what he revealed will change how you see death forever. But before we dive into Tesla's mind-bending revelations, hit that like button. Trust me, you'll want to share this with everyone you know. And make sure you're subscribed because this is just the beginning of what we're about to uncover together. Picture this. Spring 1930, New York City. A journalist whose name has been deliberately erased from history sits across from the most brilliant inventor alive. The interview was supposed to remain secret, hidden, buried. On the final page of the transcript, someone wrote, "Do not publish until humanity is ready." Well, guess what? That time is now. The journalist nervously adjusts his notepad. Tesla sits in the shadows, his piercing eyes seeming to see right through reality itself. The first question hangs in the air like electricity before a storm. Mr. Tesla, among all the rumors surrounding you, there's one that stands out. People say you believe the soul exists, that death isn't the end. Silence, complete suffocating silence. Then Tesla speaks barely above a whisper, "Believe, no, I know." The temperature in the room seems to drop 10 degrees. This isn't speculation. This isn't theory. This is a man who has stared into the void and seen what lies beyond. Tesla leans forward, his voice gaining strength. Everything around you right now is an illusion. What you think is solid matter. It's nothing but compressed light, vibrations. And these vibrations aren't just physics, they're consciousness itself. Their memory, their soul. The journalist's hand trembles as he writes. But how can science explain such things? Tesla's lips curl into a knowing smile. Science is blind, my friend. It's only now learning to see. But cracks are forming in its rigid walls. Light is breaking through. And that light, it comes from within us. He pauses, staring into the corner of the room as if listening to voices only he can hear. I've watched energy leave the bodies of the dying. It doesn't disappear. It doesn't convert to heat or sound. It maintains its form, its essence. Something exits the body without losing itself. Now here's where it gets truly incredible. Tesla starts speaking faster, as if racing against time itself. Think of humans as light bulbs. There's a source powering us. There's the light we emit. When the bulb burns out, does the source die? Of course not. The source remains eternal. Suddenly, something impossible happens. The journalist's pen stops working. The ink thickens like honey. The air itself becomes dense, vibrating with an unseen energy. Tesla doesn't even look surprised. You felt it, didn't you? That's the first proof. The field of the soul exists. It can influence matter, even the ink in your pen, even the paper you're writing on. And this is just the beginning. The journalist gathers his courage. You said field of the soul, that's not physics. Exactly, Tesla nods. Because the physics you know is limited, but the soul is limitless. Tesla stands and walks to the window. Manhattan glitters below, but his voice sounds like he's speaking to the future itself. There are 5 proofs. 5 phenomena I've personally experienced, studied, and documented. If even one of them is true, then death isn't an ending. It's a transformation. Are you ready for this? Because what Tesla reveals next will blow your mind. The first proof, out-of-body consciousness. Tesla explains, I was working with powerful magnetic fields in my laboratory. Suddenly, I found myself floating outside my own body. I could see myself working below, but my consciousness was free. I traveled through the city, observing streets, people, conversations. Later, I verified every single detail. It was all accurate. He pauses, letting this sink in. This isn't fantasy. This is the separation of consciousness from flesh. If it's possible during life, why wouldn't it be possible after death? The second proof hits like lightning. Emotional memory embedded in matter itself. You felt this, haven't you? You walk into an old house and suddenly feel anxious or peaceful. You think it's imagination, but it's not. Thoughts, emotions, traumatic events, they leave energetic imprints on the physical world. The universe is like film, recording everything that ever happens. The journalist scribbles frantically, barely keeping up. The third proof, Tesla continues, his eyes closing in concentration, is what I call the music of light. Every living being generates sound, not audible sound, but vibrational frequencies. A human being is essentially a walking symphony. When the body dies, this music doesn't stop. It continues, and sometimes, if you know how to listen, you can still hear it. Tesla walks to a strange device covered in wire pedals. I built this to capture those residual frequencies, not noise, sensation. The feeling that someone is near, someone who's supposedly gone. The journalist can't contain himself anymore. If all this is true, why the silence? Why isn't this knowledge everywhere? Tesla's expression darkens, because truth is dangerous. Our entire civilization is built on the fear of death. Remove that fear and what happens? If people knew death wasn't the end, if they understood they'd have to answer for every action they take, everything would change. But we wouldn't answer to some judge in the sky. We'd answer to ourselves. He moves his hand through the air as if feeling invisible threads. The fourth proof is the connection between souls. I once collapsed at the exact moment my friend died in Europe, thousands of miles away. Later, I received a letter confirming the time of death matched perfectly. Coincidence? No. We're all connected by invisible threads that death cannot cut. The room falls silent except for the scratching of the journalist's pen. And the fifth proof, the journalist whispers. Tesla stares into the distance for a long